Absolutely. Isaac Cole, thank you for the 499 pound super sticker. Thank you very much. Really much appreciated. You know, when we go back and we look at some of the evidence, and it sort of brings us back to, you know, where we were on November 13th, 2022, and how shocked, and how, as I stated earlier, how many broadcast stations after 6 weeks said, "Is this a cold case?" And when I heard that, I cringed. And just like many of you in the chat are mentioning Howard Blum and his book. Howard Blum is a hack. All right. He's just a New York Times writer. No, and as I said and I'll stand by it, he couldn't find a bad guy in a state prison with the help of the warden. But yet everyone's reading his book as if this guy knows what he's talking about. And I watched his interviews. All he does is chew on his glasses. He's like this. He's a real arrogant, you know, he's chewing on his glasses. I go, yeah, I'm going to believe anything this guy says. I don't know that. I don't know if that's the litmus test to disqualify somebody, but we followed him. We actually did a show on him over a year ago. And look, he rushed his book out because he had no idea when this case happened that, you know, almost 2 years from a year and a half, 2 years, they haven't set a trial date yet. They set a tentative date. He wanted to knock that book out because he wanted to strike when the iron was hot. The iron has cooled off a little bit, you know? And so who ever heard of writing a book when the ending's not known yet, you know? But he did that. I want to play this. This will bring us back to the case earlier on.
Today, shackled and silent, 28-year-old Bryan Kohberger was led into a Pennsylvania courthouse where he waived his extradition rights. The PhD candidate in criminology agreeing to be returned without a fight to Idaho, where he's accused of stabbing 4 college students to death in November.
No words can heal the pain associated with the loss of a child. Their young lives were ended far too soon.
Pennsylvania State Police talking this afternoon about Kohberger's arrest there last week.
The information was held very close, and we did not want to have any situation where Mr. Kohberger potentially would be tipped off.
And tonight, new police footage showing Kohberger in Indiana just last month. The murder suspect and his father making the cross-country drive from Washington State to Pennsylvania and getting pulled over twice on I-70 east of Indianapolis for tailgating. An Indiana State trooper seen in the body camera video approaching the car. Bryan Kohberger was in the driver's seat.
Where at? Yeah.
Seat.
Where at? Yeah.
Bryan Kohberger.
I just wanted to. I'm trying. His right hand in this little video. Still, I'm going to pull it back a little further. Watch his right hand. He's got a big, like 5 or 6 inch cut on his right hand.
Was seen in the body camera video approaching.
Look at that on his right. You see that? Can you guys see that? On his right hand, probably a couple of inches south of his wrist.
Right.
You see that?
Right along the ridge.
Right. That's right from the body cam video. So
approaching the car.
There we go. Even better shot. Now, potentially, that's a cut from the assault, because
Bryan
we said
Kohberger was in the driver's seat.
We said numerous times when there is a knife attack that usually the assailant, especially one as violent as this one where 4 people were murdered, usually the assailant, the killer, cuts himself. And if we look back at that, that's what it appears to be, that he cut himself.
An Indiana State trooper seen in the body camera video approaching the car.
So then we would ask, where is the blood inside the crime scene? Did he potentially have thick enough gloves or thick enough clothing that the blood stayed on his clothing and didn't drop inside the crime scene? That's a potential. But look, I think that's pretty clear. He's got a cut on his hand, on his right hand there, up about 3 inches. I guess you would say north of his wrist if you were using that direction.
Bryan Kohberger was in the driver's seat.
Where at? Yeah, it's a long haul. Got scared of airplanes?
For weeks, investigators had been looking for a white Hyundai Elantra that was spotted near the Idaho crime scene. But Kohberger was released with just a warning after both traffic stops. Indiana State Police saying in a statement that at the time, quote, there was no information available on a suspect for the crime in Idaho or any identifying information or any specific information related to that car.
So here's what will happen next. Within the next 10 days, Kohberger will be returned to Idaho. Once he's there, he'll be served with an arrest warrant for 4 counts of first-degree murder. Then the probable cause affidavit will be unsealed. That should give us much more information about his alleged involvement in the killings. Also late tonight, a judge issued a new order that prohibits police or attorneys from speaking publicly about this case moving forward. Kohberger has continued to maintain his innocence.
So, that, of course, was around the time he was arrested. And K-Me, thank you so much for the $5 super sticker. Thanks, Bill and Michael. Great coverage like always. Well, thank you.